Transportation is the movement of people, goods, ideas, and services. Transportation is ingrained in the human mind. We have become a species that has relied on transportation for as long as humans have roamed. We began as a species that walked, invented the wheel, invented the ship, the steam engine, the rocket, and now achieving new forms of transportation to take us into the unknowns of the universe. But in regards to urban planning, transportation is the backbone of society. Rail, shipping, trucking, driving, micromobility, air, and so much more. We are a society that is reliant on a network of transportation. Networks that make modern society function as we know it. However, transportation has also caused consequences within our society. Higher emissions, more crowding, energy intensive and safety are all as a result of transportation. But these consequences can be solved through planning practices that reduce or eliminate such consequences. This can mean electrifying our cargo and trucking fleets, investments in mass transportation and rail, creating and designing safer transportation networks are just some of the following solutions. As a student who lives in the city center, I have never had any troubles getting anywhere, to school or to my friends and family. I haven't traveled much in my past, so the topic transportation didn't cross my mind. But now I like to meet my friends in other cities, so I'll always use trains and the bus for my trips. Recently, my old best friend, who I've known since I was a kid, invited me to dinner. He lives in Merlheim, and my thought was always to use the bus whenever I visit him. 5 km is nothing for a trip, but for me it was a marathon on foot. So I chose to take the bicycle instead, because for short trips, the bicycle is a better option than the car or the bus, aside from saving money on gas. The bicycle is a zero-emission vehicle. For 5 km, I would save 0.85 kilograms of carbon dioxide. That doesn't sound like very much at first, but if I meet him 3 times a week, I save over 2.55 kilograms of carbon dioxide, and in a month I save over 10 kilograms of carbon dioxide. That's a decent chunk. For once I felt great, because I did something sustainable for our Earth, and that is why I want you to show 3 techniques how you can save CO2 emissions for a sustainable trip. Technique number 1. Route optimization. Plan and optimize the most efficient routes for transportation to minimize the distance traveled. Reduce fuel consumption and lower emissions. A vehicle releases less emissions at 120 km per hour than it does when it got stuck in a traffic jam. Avoiding traffic jams is therefore the most sustainable option. In addition, traffic jams are extremely expensive. When using high-quality route optimization software with integrated traffic data, the time lost in traffic will be minimized over the entire planning. For example, route optimization software uses powerful algorithms that perform thousands of calculations per second to approach the minimum as closely as possible. The result? Less time spent in traffic jams and a drastic reduction in unnecessary CO2 emissions. Technique number 2. Low emission vehicles. If you're going to use a vehicle for a trip, choose vehicles that are more fuel efficient and emit lower levels of carbon dioxide, such as hybrid or electric trucks, to reduce emissions in transportation. Another way to be more sustainable is using car sharing services. It is an effective way to reduce your environmental impact and contribute to a more sustainable future. The German government, for example, plans to reduce CO2 emissions from transport by around 40% by 2030. There's still a long way to go, and it cannot simply be achieved by expanding local public transportation alone. That is why car sharing has to be and is a fundamental part of the solution for the mobility of the future. Technique number 3. Consolidate shipments. Combine multiple shipments into one. This option doesn't include us, but plays a big role in transportation. By consolidating shipments, fewer trucks or transportation modes are required, resulting in reduced fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. Consolidated shipping contributes environmental responsibility. When buyers contribute for consolidated shipping, the need for excessive packaging materials decreases. Instead of each item being individually packaged, the items are consolidated into a single shipment. This not only reduces the amount of packaging waste generated, but also contributes to overall waste reduction throughout the supply chain. I personally think if you stick to these 3 techniques, you are traveling under a good sustainable condition. These techniques help me to reduce my footprint from 10.4 to 7.2. Transportation has also a big impact on us, and that is the way how the world functions today. In summary, sustainable transportation is crucial for a greener, healthier future. As the younger generation, embracing sustainable travel is our responsibility. By choosing eco-friendly options, we contribute to environmental preservation, support local cultures, and set a positive example for ourselves. Our choices today shape the future of travel. Sustainable travel is not just a choice, it's our legacy in the making. Thank you very much for watching my video.